Hey guys, welcome to another Transformers toy review, and today finally we're going to take a look at Assaultus, which is from Mastermind Creations Ocular Max. This is going to be their Bruticus. So far we've taken a look at all the individual components of Assaultus, their version of Bruticus. So we've taken a look at their version of Vortex, Swindle, Onslaught, Blast Off, and finally Brawl. And now we're going to take a look at the combined mode. What I'm going to do is start off the review by just obviously here, just looking at them in their robot mode together here. And together in their robot mode, I think they look really nice. You know, there is like a scale thing going on with them. So you can see Brawl, you know, is a little bit taller than, say, Blast Off. Probably Swindle's probably one of the smallest out of the group, and obviously Onslaught then towers over the rest. I've added Decepticon symbols to these. I just got them off Toy Hacks, one of the like free sets that you get. I've kind of added them on the places where they're kind of shown in the cartoon. So that was kind of like a purposeful thing, really, just because with this set they have gone for that kind of cartoon look for them, especially if you look at, I mean, it is really spot on, really. If you look at, say, Blast Off and things like that, I've forgotten really what they look like, but the feet and everything, the head, you've got the alternate head, Swindle and Brawl, they all look absolutely dead on. Really good. Onslaught obviously towers above the rest. He's got this thing, I've added the batteries just in case you haven't seen it. His kind of light up function, where if you press on this, his eyes light up, and it stays lit up for a good while as well. And that'll be something that we'll see when we get to combine them. So as a group, if you're displaying them in robot mode, they look really good. Obviously they are kind of like masterpiece scaled, so if you were going to bring in and have them alongside, let's bring in like a chug style one. There is, you know, they are alongside those, so that scale doesn't really work if you're going to display them in robot mode. So you very much do need to have them displayed against other masterpiece type figures. I think where the scale will work, and we'll take a look at it, is in combined mode, as it still may well work with that kind of chug scale. But that's something we'll sort of take a look at. So that's my plan anyway. So that's them in robot mode. Next up, we'll take a look at the vehicle mode and see what they look like. Right, so we've got them all transformed. This is the Combaticons in their vehicle mode. As you can see, I think they work really well, look pretty nice. They all kind of scale as much as they can do, really. It's difficult. Obviously, Blast Off being a space shuttle would, you know, normally be obviously a fair bit bigger than the other vehicles there. But, you know, it's fair. You know, you've got the Swindle, the Jeep. He's probably the smallest out of the lot. Vortex is a little bit longer in terms of length. So he's probably like skinniest. This one, a while since I've transformed it, and it's a real challenge to try and get him back transformed into helicopter mode, but I still managed it without the instructions. It's just a little bit fiddly. This one, no problem getting them back into there. Once you've done and transformed a few times, as I've done recently, you're kind of in the swing of it, and they've all got fairly similar engineering, and with all of them you can use all of the guns and weapons that come with them. So you can peg the gun on the front of here. You can peg the two guns on the side. Here's peg either side, or I've lost the little turret there, but you can mount them onto that. But even without that, which I've lost, you can still peg them onto the side. Onslaught, you can peg his gun onto here. There is like an extender barrel thing here as well, and you can pop that on there if you wish. But it means there's no extra bits. You know, the only extra bits I've got are like the spare heads and things like that for it. You've got Blast Off here as well. Looks great. His gun stores away in here. I've added some extra stickers, so I've added 2 on here. Added 1 on here. I've added 1 on here. Unfortunately, the one that ends in robot mode comes up upside down. Oh, comes up upside down in this mode, but I'm not too fast. I'm not going to change it. I'm probably going to have him displayed in his combined mode anyway. And with Brawl as well, you can obviously have him in this mode with the 2 guns, these 2 bits, the other gun here. The sticker that I've added, because I wanted to be kind of cartoon accurate, is actually underneath there, so you can't really see it very well. So I may add another one further up here maybe. But you see they all display pretty well. They've all got, the 2 flyers have got kind of landing gear and stuff like that, which is great. You can definitely tell this one's the first one, and as they've got on, they've got a little bit better to a certain extent, with Blast Off probably being the odd one out in terms of probably a bit basic posability wise potentially, but they all look good as a group. Onslaught's my favourite. He just looks absolutely huge, and for scale I actually got out one of the Constructicons from Combiner Wars, and actually I'll just take out Vortex, and actually they scale all right, the Combaticons, the Constructicons with the Combaticons, which makes me think that once I get this guy combined, he may scale in well with Combiner Wars Devastator and perhaps Power of the Primes Predaking, which would be great for me, because then what I would probably look to do is, when they have to protect a box, kind of have that as my combiner, you know, and then Devastator, because that's one of the things that kind of bugged me, is I couldn't have Devastator really alongside any of the combiners because it just wouldn't work scale wise. But you know, if this works, hopefully we can get them all sorted out. So that's them in vehicle mode. We've had a look at them in robot mode and vehicle mode. We're going to take a look at getting them combined now. We're going to start them off in the order that they did. So I'm going to put off Brawl to the side. Going to move away Blast Off. Going to move away Onslaught. Going to move away Swindle. And the one we're going to start with is going to be Vortex. Okay, so let's get this started off. So I'll probably need to refer back to the instructions for this one. So I've got them all here, so it's all in order. So we've got the Perfection Series 13, where we're going to look at getting him transformed into his combined mode. So this one is going to be a hand, so we'll need to get him into this final one here. So right, let's start and have a look at this. Right, so straight away from the instructions here, you want to remove these gun pieces here. I think that's probably going to be easiest. Let's take these off here, like that. Fold this bit back in. It says to unplug these, but I noticed in the instructions that actually it has this bit completely unplugged. So I would just take that off and pull that off to the side. I think that's going to be easier, and it means it's not going to get in the way. These bits you want to collapse in like that. This end piece here, you want to kind of fold these bits in like that. Now this bit kind of comes undone a little bit, so just peg this from here. Now you may need to just unpeg this a little bit in here. That shows these two bits folded down, and then these bits just folding down into there like that. So then the same on this side like that. So it shows that end piece kind of like that. Okay, so this bit's kind of like done, if you see what I mean. The next bit really is about kind of folding this bit out. So you want to lift this bit up from here, actually fold these bits over like that. This bit is going to lift up, so at the same time you kind of want to pull these bits out. Pull those out from there, and then you can push this bit up like that. This whole piece is going to kind of fold out, so you're going to need to kind of do some untabbing on this one here. Shouldn't be too tricky to do, he says. Okay. So you may have to just fold these bits out to do it, like that, like that, like that, like that. These bits kind of lift up out of the way. This bit then is going to open up. And this is where the fists are actually hidden in this bit here. So you just have to pull it out a little bit like so. And then just fold it out away from you, like that. Probably best to unplug it from here, I think, at this point. Yeah, let's pull this bit in half, like that, just to make it easier. Like that. So they're kind of like the robot legs at that point there. Fold these bits in that way. So that's the bit that you want for the gun. So fold those bits in like that. Then just looking around at the instructions, you want, I think, do you want them out that way? Yeah, I think you're going to want to rotate these around and in like that. And then peg these in together here, like that. Line everything up inside as well. And this is where it's tricky actually getting him combined in the first place into that vehicle mode. So you've got all these bits here. These bits are a bit of a pain, and they do want to kind of fall off at different points. Yeah, just looking back at this, just checking that I've got those bits right. Yeah, so that needs to go in there. Let's go out like that. Yeah, I think these bits are going to come in and they're going to peg down into that gap there. These bits should then all align. So that is the tricky bit, just getting everything aligned. And then everything then should then close up in here. So just make sure these fists, because the fists actually, they're two separate bits, so they actually push in on each other. So then you just want to peg it in on either side. So these bits will come in over here like that, and then these bits come in over here, and you see there's a little peg for the arms to go into there on that side there. So it's pretty clever the way everything kind of comes in together. This is my first time doing this, so I thought it'd be best just to show you kind of what the experience was like, kind of doing it this way around, kind of first time with the instructions still at hand. This thumb here kind of folds out, so I may need to have done that beforehand. There we go. So you can kind of get away with that just by unpegging it a little bit beforehand, and then that thumb folds out. Just then hold the hand back in like that, and you can see how it's coming out. This bit here now, is that the bit that needs to come out as part of the transformation, or is it? No, there's a piece here that needs to come out of this bit here, I think it is. Might have to push it from that side. Yeah, so you push it from inside. You can then push out this kind of combiner piece here, which is just there. That bit folds down. Tuck that bit in. There we go. And then this bit should come down, I think, like it does in its normal mode, I think. Yeah, I'm just checking because, yeah, that clips on there. That clips on underneath there like that. Then this bit here, I think I'll have to sit in a little bit shallower, I think. So just seeing where it shows it pegs in on the instructions. Yeah. So I think that's it. I'm not sure about this bit here. That's the one bit that I'm not sure about. So this bit's fine like that. This arm is supposed to go around like that. So it's like that. You can obviously rotate around like so. These bits are right. So that's down like that. Now I think it's just going to peg into the side of here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just a peg either side of there, like that, and like that. So it'll just hold in like that on either side. So that's pretty impressive. So you get rotation there, look. Up, and I think back if you move this bit, open this bit up as well. But I guess his elbow shouldn't move backwards. So up like that, rotation there, that we mentioned. I'll keep this bit plugged in just to give him a bit more stability first of all. Obviously there's another bend there as well as the one there. And then even more there, but actually that actually unpegs it, so don't do that. The arm rotates, hand rotates here, And then each one of these is individually articulated as well on a base pin, like that. And you get a bit of rotation around in there, but not all the way around. And then you get that bit there as well. So a fair bit of articulation in him. So yes, that's him kind of like that. Obviously that's going to peg onto the side, something like that. So that's the one arm done. And these bits have come undone as I've been sort of moving it around. But then I can just peg that all back in. I think just some of the articulation just disturbed that a little bit. Right, so there we go. So that's the arm done. And next we'll move on, take a look at Swindle. Just remember, if you get any of these bits fall out, just remember where they are, keep hold of them, and just peg them in again. And not sure if it shows you where to put these guns in again, but these guns here, you can still pop them in, I think. Yeah, so you can still pop them in either side. It doesn't show anywhere for the other gun to go. So that's the only bit I'm not sure about at this point. And I'm guessing obviously you can peg this on at the end as well. So I'm just going to pop it off to the side. Right, so next let's take a look at Swindle. Right, so let's take a look at Swindle. Again, from the instructions, they kind of start you off with Swindle in his vehicle mode. So first thing it shows you is to unpeg the weapons. So I'll take these off, take the wheel off. Obviously if you have that plugged in, take that off as well. It then shows from underneath here, you take this panel off here, have it just facing down. Next up, you have these kind of seat things up like that, and then you can pull these ones up as well. I always struggle to get these up. There we go. Like that. Have those up. It then shows you pulling this bit out. So is there, I can't remember if there's a thing on the side for these. Oh yeah, so these up like that. I think as well, might have to pull these up out of the way, and then you should be able to open this bit up. I think you have to pull these bits up to unlock it, which it doesn't show on the instructions, but I'm sure you have to do that. Okay. Or maybe just move these bits up a little bit more. There we go. So it doesn't actually show you bringing it all the way down, but can't see that there's a little button or anything on it. Perhaps this bit in here holding it in. But anyway, you kind of fold the legs there a bit. This bit, again, like I said, should be kind of down, hanging out like that. It looks like you kind of unpeg, kind of bring out the arms a little bit. So from here, it looks like they've got the arms coming out. So you kind of have to sort of pull the assembly away from here. So pull the wheels out like that. And then you're then sort of pulling out the arms from here. So you kind of have to pull these bits out like that, like that. It then shows you twisting the waist around, okay, like that. And then it looks like you're kind of putting the stuff kind of like almost like back in, as it was like you were doing in vehicle mode, but obviously the waist now is round the other way. So you fold these bits in like that. You peg these bits in like that, it looks like so. These bits kind of come out at the top here like that and fold down. Like so. Yes, that's right. This bit then comes up into here, looks like. Like that. So you got that bit up here. As far as I can see, turn this bit around. You fold so as these around here, you fold these bits down like that. So you're then going to basically push everything back up again. To how you had it before. With that bit pegging into there. Is that the, maybe is that the little thing there? Don't know, it looks as if there's a little lock there, but I never worked that out on this one, where the actual kind of lock thing was, but you do want that to go back into there. There we go. So peg that into there, like so. Do the same on the other side. Bring that bit up like that. that does fold in there. It's just a case of, it kind of almost does like a bit of a combiner war thing at the same time. So it's a bit of a tricky one just to kind of catch it right. So you kind of like, there we go. Let's fold that into there. Line that up, push that in. And then the instructions show you folding these bits down. Like that, and then and then these bits come down here like that. These bits like that. These bits over here look like they go like that. Round on the other side, you then fold these bits in here, these bits in there, and these bits down into that gap there. So it's kind of taking the shape of a leg here. I think those bits are like that. I'm not sure if they are supposed to kind of go up over that gap maybe. I'm not sure. It's not. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be up like that, I think. So like that, and then these are the kind of Bruticus legs, feet that fold out. So so it says on here, once you've folded these bits down, that this is supposed to, the other bit's supposed to lift up. So this should fold down, then these bits are supposed to bloody lift up again to then pull this bit down like that. Okay, so there's a fair bit of faffing about with this guy. There we go. And then move these bits so they're straight. You want to peg those bits back in like that, and then fold out the feet. Like that. And how they have the feet is they have them kind of like this. So just gonna fold these toes out properly. These then peg together like that. Now these, you see that wants to peg into there, as far as I'm aware anyway. That is a bit of a tight connection to get this one open. I think we had that last time with this one. So then like that, then peg that in like that. So it's yeah, it's a tricky old one to do that. I'm sort of guessing a little bit of it because sometimes on the instructions not all of it's ultra clear. So yeah, but that gives you quite good the sort of motion either side. Seems pretty steady as well. And then it kind of goes around to show the kind of Jeep bit. So what it shows you is this bit here on the Jeep. So open this bit up here, it says, fold that bit in. Fold that into there. So that's fine. This bit on here comes out, I think. I think that's the idea, that that folds into there like that, and then that then folds there, I think. It doesn't seem to really clip in there, but I think that's how it goes. It's certainly what it looks like on the instructions, I think. It doesn't seem to clip in anywhere. And then it shows this bit out like that. And on the back here, not sure if you're supposed to have these bits out like that, because it shows a load of things with the weapons on. So it might be that you, with the weapons actually plugged in. So these ones are absolute pain in the neck to try and pull out. And you do sometimes have to get something underneath with a bit of clout on it just to try and unpeg it. So you got, oh sorry, you got those bits there, and it just shows you having the wheels plugged on here. Like that, and then it shows the other weapons being plugged in. So it shows actually one of them being down here, but because we haven't got that piece at the moment, we can actually do it the other way around, so we can kind of have these other bits pegged in here. So does this bit fold out? Yeah, I think it shows these bits unplugged. So it shows that bit plugged into there, at the back, like that, just in there. And then shows this piece here, plugged in there, or actually potentially that way around. And then the other gun down here. And then obviously if you have that other piece that I've lost, it kind of slots in underneath here somewhere. I think it kind of plugs in somewhere along there. So that's that. So I think that is the leg complete. So I'll bring up, look at the camera here a bit. And yeah, so I think that's the leg bit done. So yeah, you get kind of the tilt in there as well. It feels quite solid. Yeah, and it's got everything plugged onto it. Yeah, I'm not sure about how this is all going to plug in. That doesn't seem like, presumably that's like the combiner port there, but we'll see. Right, so that's 2 done. So we've got this one and this one done. Next, we'll take a look at the midsection. So we'll take a look at Onslaught. Right, so we've got Onslaught here. So I've gone with a slightly different approach. So they say to transform him from robot mode to combine mode. Now I've kind of half done it because I think we're going to have to do something different with the arms and the head anyway. Okay, so first of all, what they show you doing on this is, I'll just move the arm bits out of the way, but they show you doing a bit like the classic Onslaught, where you bring the legs out like this, and then you bring them down like that. So I'm going to do that on both sides, like that, just for ease. And then it shows you going around to the back and lifting up this piece here, pushing up or unplugging this piece here, I should say, from here, and that goes over there like that. And then it shows you doing something with this piece here. So this piece comes over just see if that is right. That's the nice bit comes over there like that. Yeah, so that looks a bit if it goes into that gap there. Kind of looks like it should be the other way around, but okay. Is that right? Don't know how you're going to swap that around. Yeah, shows that bit like that. Don't know if you can see that. This bit here. It shows you lifting it up. This bit around here. That bit. Let's plug this bit back here. That bit going down there like that. And then closing over this piece here. I think that has to go in. Just making sure that leg is plugged in properly. Okay, it wasn't sitting all the way down flush. So it has to sit down flush, and then it'll plug in over that gap there. So I'll repeat that on this leg because I was a bit jumbled up. So open this bit up here, fold this out, bring that up to there, fold this out, and this bit out as well. And that bit folds down flat into there, like so. And then this bit, you see that's where it plugs into there, so it just covers that over like that. So that locks all of that into place there. Then you come round to the front of the legs and you actually push this bit out to the side. Okay, so you do that on both. Next, you go around to the back here, and it says about flipping out the combiner ports. So those are in there. So you kind of get your hands in there, pull them out like that. Again, up to you how you do it, but you can just grab hold of them there and you can pull them out like that. So they're right facing you. It looks as if these toes are supposed to be down also like that. So plugged in like that and then facing down. Presumably then it sort of covers up part of that there. And it looks like they kind of slide on. A bit kind of Combiner Wars style like that. So that's that bit done. And then step 33 is these bits fold into these holes here, so you can see there's, and that will just lock that in like that, so that makes that secure. So then I'll just readjust things again. So we're concentrating more on the top half now. So then what we do is bring these arms round, and they want to go round, so they're facing this way here, it looks like. It doesn't show them clipping it into anything, but they can just fit into that gap in there. So I'll do that on both sides there, like that. Right, so then it shows you kind of unplugging this from here, it looks like. Yeah, I think so. So this bit does come unplugged from here, but it is a bit of a tight connection. There you go. God, that's a really tough connection there. Right, so I've done that on one side. So it shows this piece here kind of coming down underneath. And it looks like it pegs in underneath here. So just peg it like that for now. And then it shows you opening this piece up here. Like that. And then this coming down. This then, yeah, so that comes down like that. Yeah, so this bit's kind of facing you, it looks like. And then this bit comes around, twirls around like that, and then pegs into there. And that bit collapses into there, and that also pegs in there as well. So something like that. Then you come round to the back of it. This bit comes around, looks like that. So that closes up. And then it looks as if you then push it back like that, and there's a connector there connecting it to the body, and that is kind of like one of the arm connectors there. So I'll repeat that because it's a little bit tricky. The other thing you want to do as well is, once you've done all of that, is these bits, because if they come undone, this bit comes over here, and that will just peg over this piece here, like that. Again, there's some quite tight connections on these. he says, but I haven't had yet anything break off it. So just line those up, so you can see underneath where everything's kind of where that all should go. I don't want to push that one in too much, but that looks as if it's where it should close in. Looks as if they both fit into that bigger one there. Oh, there we go. So that's connected. So that's the arm on that side. So let's try that again. So unpeg this arm piece here. So I can be a bit rough with it this time round. And then pull it down. Oh. So there you go. So it takes a bit of oomph into that, and then peg that underneath there like that. These things are a little bit worried that they'll get damaged, but that's how they are. They are connected on there. This piece here is going to lift up. So lift it up like that. This piece is going to come forward like so. Swivel this round, and then connects up everything. So it connects in there. That's where my thumb is there. And then underneath as well. Pegs onto the side there. Come around to the back. Close that up. Bring this round. And you can see there's a couple of connectors in here. And that'll connect in like so. And then this piece here folds out. And that will connect over that area there, he says. There we go. So again, you do have to use a bit of force with that. So then come round to here, and this is where the kind of headpiece kind of folds out. So bring this out like that. That then is going to kind of come down and peg over here. These bits are going to fold out like so. The head piece is, if you're going to come around to the back here, and it kind of opens up through here. So this bit opens up, then this all kind of comes out, and you kind of rotate it around. As you press it, obviously the head bit comes on. Fold these bits out. This is going to come down. Like so. Here's this. Looks like it all plugs in properly there. And then I think this just folds back up again. If anything's come undone from here, just plug that all back in. This piece here then expands. So I think you press these bits in here, is it? You pull these bits out. These bits actually expand and come out like that. Like that. So it's a bit of a battle. You can get there. That bit closes up. this bit comes down. I think then like that. I think it comes down again. So that's kind of the look that you're going for. And then I think that is it. That is your kind of midsection done. So pretty impressive. It's crazy to think that all of that is kind of built into Onslaught. Yeah, I mean, these side pieces aren't held together. Yeah, so that is the midsection all done. I have added in an extra sticker on here. Obviously, just show you when you press that. Obviously, the eyes light up. I can see this is where obviously the combiner port comes in here. It looks as if they slide along here and then the figures peg in there. So it looks as if it's going to be all fairly secure. We'll obviously wait and see. So that's Onslaught done. So next up, we're going to move on and take a look at Blast Off here. So I'll just adjust the camera so we can take a look at that. The other thing worth mentioning is with Onslaught Scan, obviously you peg this bit on here and have it like that. I don't know if some other bits are going to peg into it later on, but that's the gun there. Yeah, so we've got Blast Off here. First thing that you want to do according to the instructions is unpeg these bits from here like that, and then you want to swing them around here and peg them into here like that. So those plug into the side. I'll just bring in the instruction manual just underneath me so I can see all the other bits that you do. So then you peg these bits out, and you're going to move these bits up like so. Push these out like so. So a lot of it is kind of taking it back to its back as if you're going to kind of go back into robot mode almost. And then from here, you know, we've taken those bits out. You're going to lift these bits up here like that. You're going to lift those up there. Obviously, you've got the gun hidden away in there as well. It shows you also, I think, unpegging this bit from here as well. Oh yeah. Like that. Next up, you want to actually separate these bits like that. You want to remove the weapon out of there, so leave that for there. And then you want to open these bits up, which is where you've got the hands. So move those out of the way. Move these bits up. You want to sort of twirl these ones kind of back in so they're out of the way, as you would do normally. And then it looks as if it's a case of kind of folding the arms out, I think. So I'm just looking to see, just so I get it right, so how they've done it. So they've kind of rotated the arm out this way, like that. And then it looks as if they've this bit rotate back in. Oh, this bit actually splits in half, looks like. I hadn't realised that. So that splits in half and goes into that gap in there. Don't know if that kind of comes in any more than that. So that pushes down there. Normally that pushes down there, but that bit's in the way still, isn't it? I can't quite see how that is going to push in out of the way there. Let me just take a look at this a second. All right, so I've worked it out, so I'm going to show you on this side. So we fold it out. I think we got that bit right last time, didn't we? In terms of folding this bit out like this. This bit splits in half. He says. There you go, like that, and then goes into this gap in here. Now this bit, I didn't actually realise it actually pushes in all the way, so you just have to be just a bit firmer with it. Push it in all the way. It will then close down, and then at the same time you kind of line up. There's like probably best to actually fold this up as well. So as you do so, fold this up. I'll go into this gap here, and then this will close in and go in, fit in over there like that. This then comes, oh, sorry. It's just saying this bit comes in like that, closes over. This bit comes in like that, and then closes over like so. This then closes in like so, like that. So you've got all of that, kind of all those hand bits all taken care of. Then you come over and you crack these open like that. You fold these out like so, and then you're going to fold in these bits in here like that. Same on this side. Open it up, fold that out, fold that in, fold that into there, and close that in like that, that in like that, that goes in there like so, and then yeah, so that's right. These bits fold over and back in, and they'll peg into there. He says. Find the spot for that, but I can see it. It seems like it's lined up. Oh, there we go. So you might just have to push this a little bit further forward, just to line it up right. Apologies if I keep on knocking the camera slightly. Anyway, I've not quite got that lined up properly, but I can tidy that up afterwards, so that's fine. And then you want to close this up together. So just make sure everything's lined up. That bit there's annoying me. I got it plugged in there. So that bit's done. Obviously you fold out the hands, thumb comes out as we've seen before, like that. This bit here, that looks as if it's going to fold back up again, but what you want to do is obviously say if you're doing it from that way, you're going to fold it around so it's kind of facing that way, and then you're going to kind of close this bit back up. You may have to just make sure everything's these bits are back like that. Close that up like so. Right, so yeah, you have to plug all this in. You can still put the gun in this bit here, but it will affect the articulation. So yeah, there's that. And then the last bit is just to fold this bit out. So that bit is quite tricky because it's quite a hard connection, so you have to really sort of get in and push it out, and then it should click into place there. So you should be able to move this around here, in here, and this should all be intact here as well. So that is the last arm. The one bit I couldn't quite get in was this little bit in here, this little connection. You know, and I've been fine when I've tried to get him transformed. I've been able to get that in, but for some reason I just can't peg that into there. This bit into there. It's just escaping me. Just not quite doing it, but it holds in that position absolutely fine. So now we've got two arms here, and we've got our kind of torso section here, and we've got a leg, and next up we've got our next leg. So right, let's get this one into our last leg, and then we'll take a look at it. What I will do with the video is I'll put down kind of like bits where you can step in and pick things up. So where we start off the Vortex, you know, one, where we start off Swindle, and so on, so people don't have to watch the whole thing. Right, so next up we've got Brawl. So I'm attempting this for the first time. Things that you'll need to do is take off this piece here. Take off this piece here. It says to stand them upright, like so. Next it says to kind of pull this tank piece out like that. You can push this bit in, which is fine. It then says to kind of like pull out these tank pieces, these arm pieces like this, like, okay. So they're out to the side. Next up, you come around here, and this is where you're going to fold these bits down, I think. Oh no, you're going to pull this chest section down and this bit up. So pull this bit up and pull that bit down. Next up, you're going to, with this arm here, it looks as if you're going to pull it down. Or move it out, it looks like. I'm just trying to get my head in there without getting in the way of the camera. Looks like they want, so these bits rotate out. So I didn't know that. So they want to rotate out and up like that. So you do have to use a bit of force behind it. So the arms are now kind of upside down. Next up, you're going to kind of rotate these round towards you, it looks like, and it looks like these bits are kind of go underneath like that. Not sure if that's supposed to fit in there or not. These bits look as if they're kind of in the way, but it doesn't mention to pull them down, but I don't know, perhaps they should stay like that. But don't want to pull his head out. Pop it like that. So these bits kind of come down like that. Like that. So it's all kind of facing you that way. Something like that it should look like at the moment. Then it says about this piece. So that was as it was. Then it says about this piece coming down and fitting over that piece here. So I don't know if that kind of clicks in. Then those bits like that, I think that looks right from here. Yeah, so that's where we're... Right. The next thing you need to do, actually, before I do that, these bits do plug in. So there's tabs inside, two on either side that peg in. So it is nice and tight on there. And also the sides of these peg into the side of there. So it is nice and tight in there. The next thing it shows you on the instructions is coming around to the back here. And it shows you having these bits actually closed in like that. So I don't know if I've always had them closed in like that, but maybe that's supposed to be the tank bit. So that's another thing. So they are actually how they should be for this bit. And then it also as well, you might have to move the tank turret slightly for this, is these bits here. Just opening these bits up, and these will lift up kind of outwards like that, like so. And then from here it looks like you kind of pull this assembly down like that, and then you then pop these back in like that. And then from here you're then going to kind of fold out the legs like that, and the same from this side as well. And they do that similar thing that we did before, I think, where they use that kind of locking mechanism here as well. So it's a bit tricky. You kind of have to kind of push it through and then push this bit down like that. Do that on the other side while trying to stop everything kind of come out at the same time. So I'll just do that bit. Right, so I managed to sort that bit out, so that's all connected in there. Next bit is you want to get these bits, and they're going to come round, and they're just going to fold into that gap in here. Next, you get this thing here, and that looks as if it goes these two notches here basically. So you're gonna have it like that with these bits plugged into there. Which doesn't, okay, that's how it's supposed to fit in. It doesn't really hold in very well. So that's what you're supposed to do with it there. And then the next thing you need to do is get these bits here and fold them up. So I've started on this one. So I had to just rotate the hands round, so that enabled me to then push these bits in. But essentially, that should be it. It looks as if it's going to slide into there, and this bit here is going to kind of fit over it somehow. You can move this round, have it like that. That's kind of what it's going to look like. And yeah. Right then, so I've got all the individual parts all made up now. Now it's a case of combining it. Now there's a couple of little things I missed out when doing Bruticus. So you need to push his legs up all the way so they come up to here, whereas I think I had them down before. And then on the back you need to push in these bits here. You then have these bits here, and what's going to happen basically, you need to have these bent like here, and they're going to slide on and then plug into these gaps here. So I'll show you what I mean. So, and on Brawl here, you need to have it like this, so this bit needs to be up and that bit needs to be folded down. So you got your groove there. So you line it up. So I don't know if you can see that, or I'm just going to line that up and fold it through. And do it so then it then touches this piece here. And then you're going to bring this bit up, bring the knee up, and then this bit's going to come down. It's going to peg over those two bits there, and then that's secure, and then you can mess about with the thing afterwards. So that one's done, and it is quite a secure connection because I tried it and then I had to take it off, so it does take a bit of force to actually pull that up. The other thing as well is on Swindle, you need to have this bit taken out, this bit needs to be folded in. And this bit, I think I had it round like that, but actually you need to be round this way like that to allow the groove to go all the way in. So again, you kind of have to have it on an angle like that. Slide it in all the way so that piece then touches that. Bring that forward. This one's a little bit easier to clip in. And then round the back, Swindle. If I bring this guy up and just stand him up. Around the back here, you'll see this piece here will come down and just peg over like that. So that is secure. I did mention earlier that this bit can plug into that gap. I found on mine anyway that didn't really, was it that way around? That didn't really fit in or hold in very well for some reason. So, but that's what it's supposed to do. It looks like it's supposed to hold in there, but it just kind of falls out. So I've got that bit off to the side here for now. So I'm going to bring him round. Sort out the legs. So far, he, you know, stability-wise, he seems all right. So I'm just going to sort out the camera so you'll then look up and see the arms. Okay. So then I'm just going to turn this bit around here, and you can see there's like a gap in here. So that then corresponds with these bits in here. So you have to sort of go in at the side like that. He says. Is it that way around? Oops. I'm sure in the instructions they got it around that way. It looks like it's just going to clip into this bit in here. So I may need to use a bit of force, and then that will then, what it does is it kind of, oh, that's why I didn't do it properly. That seems to come out. Let's try it around the other way, because it looks like there's a little catch there. Which is supposed to kind of come up and down. So try it around that way and then push that in. That seems to hold in better that way. So it's starting to be a bit more wobbly, but nothing too bad. Moving it around kind of feels all right, you know. Then we've got this side here. So I'm going to try this one. So I'll try it around that way first. So first time. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I've got them stood up. Oh, I've got the light on as well. What I'm going to do now is just tidy him up a little bit. I'm going to plug on a few of the accessory bits, and we'll try and go through articulation and everything. Right, here we are. We've got him in his combined mode. He's pretty impressive. He's not huge, massive compared to, say, you know, the Toy World one or anything else like that. So that's just something to bear in mind. You know, the bots are pretty big individually, because you don't have those part forming kind of extra bits, and obviously you've got, you know, the legs are actually part of the vehicle, and the arms and everything. I think he's pretty much in proportion, you know, like he's got his, probably doesn't show up so much in camera, but when you look at it here, you can see obviously the tank mode, you know, one leg's kind of like beefier than the other, with Swindle being the other leg and this arm being probably bigger than Vortex, but it kind of all looks all right. I'll go through the articulation, but first of all, just as a bit of a size comparison, here's Earthrise Starscream, and you know, and he comes up to sort of kind of just past Swindle. So I just, you know, I think that looks all right. He's a Voyager size figure, I think he is. Yeah, I think he's a Voyager. I can't remember all the things, but I'm sure he is Voyager size. So I think that works quite well. He holds his gun all right. There are kind of like tabs look on the side, but it doesn't look as if they really fit in properly. So it's mostly kind of held in by friction, and you can really kind of wrap the fingers, you know, right round the gun. Obviously he's got his batteries in, so if you press down this or move it around, normally the eyes will light up, and that's, you know, that is really bright, even with all the stuff off here. So I don't know if I turn off that light there, you can see it, you know, it really does light up, and it looks good. And it stays on for a good amount of time as well. I quite like it that it's just a push down thing. That's quite nice. I'll go through all the articulation and everything, but the arms can go up to there until his kind of head gets in the way, and that holds all right. Comes down here, goes around. It's quite a soft ratchet as you go around, but it does seem to hold the way. I think this is the one that's got the replacement ratchet, but mine seems to hold all right. There's no kind of forward or anything else like that. You get rotation out here, and that goes all the way around. The arm bends here, so you get 45 degrees there. Sorry, 90? Yeah, 90. No, is that? Yeah, 90. It's 180p, yeah. So that's good. So you get all the way up to there. And it's a nice strong ratchet. You can even kind of go backwards a little bit as well. The hands rotate around to a certain degree. They can only go round one way to a certain degree because of how they're kind of plugged together, but one way round. See if I can spin this around. So go around to there and round to there, and then these are all individually articulated, and they're quite solid as well. The waist, you do get articulation there. Back. No, it does go all the way around. So that's pretty solid. You even get an ab crunch. So you can kind of get him hunched over. You can kind of get him hunched over like he's going through like a small gap or something like that, or he's like coming, like trying to beat his way through something. So you can bend forward and bend down. So it's a good deal of articulation on there. So just straighten him up again. So that goes all the way down to there. So that's pretty good. There's no ratchets on that bit, but it seems to hold all right. The head goes up, so you get quite a bit. Down, not really down, because you've got the onslaught head that's in there. So yeah, you're kind of limited really. You can go up and you can rotate it all the way around, but that is it. These guns here on the back rotate around, and they're good. Nice paint on the front here. Just noticed that and clipped out, but this is all done nicely. It all matches in. I didn't think I'd be such a like the G1 cartoon aesthetic so much. This bit moves up and down, and these bits rotate around. So if you do want to move the feet forward, you can do. These bits rotate around. The only trouble with that is then these bits get pushed out. But to be honest with you, you can just, if you want to just do that, it ruins the look at the back, but it does mean I think you can kind of get them looking a little bit better. This end here, I mean, you do have to kind of work out where you're planting the feet and everything else to make him stand all right, but I think he's pretty steady. This arm here, see if it goes any further. Pretty much the same. This one's not as heavy. Again, that goes all the way around. It's quite a soft ratchet. And the arm here, you actually go up near pretty much all the way on that one. You might be able to on this one if you unpeg these bits here. Oh no, you'd have to go past this piece here, so you can't on that one. But this one can go literally all the way up. This rotates around here. You do have to be careful hitting this bit around here, but you can peg the helicopter wings on here. Yeah, it's kind of like a double jointed thing, so you can bend up that way. If you do want to just be careful of the tabs in here, so you probably want to untab it if you are doing that. But you know, there's certainly, this one's certainly quite a secure combiner, I would say. If I move this forward here, the legs will move up here. Now that's holding just, but you can feel the weight on it. And then go back to there, just about holds. If I move this out here, go to there, and that doesn't hold. And then you can bend the knee back to there. Again, that's holding. You can rotate it around in here as well. You get a little bit forward and back in this, but not a load. And you do get a tilt, but not tons. And then same for this one. Probably a bit lighter. That one, it kind of drops back a click if you do it. And then again with the feet, you don't get load either way. You do get a fair bit, but not absolutely tons, but probably enough to display him in a bit of a dynamic pose. Certainly kind of moving forward and kind of being a bit of a menace, so to speak. I think it's pretty good. I'm impressed. I'll bring in some other figures as well as a bit of a size comparison as well. I'll probably bring in Devastator, but just to bring in, say, Omega Supreme. So obviously he's a Titan class figure. Don't know if you can see that, just check out the camera. Yeah, so you can just kind of make it out here that, I mean, Omega Supremes are crouched a bit, but he kind of comes up to about there on him, with his head, and obviously he's probably about the same height if you take into account all these other bits at the top here. Probably a bit smaller, but certainly Omega Supreme is, you know, a fair bit chunkier than him. I don't know if I've got any of the other combiners to hand, like a Combiner Wars one. I'll just see if I've got like a Combiner Wars one that I can grab, because I don't think I've got Bruticus to hand, but I've got Computron, so I can grab him quickly. And he's got his kind of big boots on. So you can see versus a Combiner Wars one, he's you know, he's a fair bit bigger than him. He's nearly double the size, and he's quite a bit chunkier. These ones are still pretty good. I do like them, but certainly Bruticus, the MMC one, does have a bit more of a presence about him, that's for sure. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the Combiner Wars Devastator. I'll get them combined and take a look at them side by side. But I think this is a pretty good set. You know, first of all, I wasn't sure if you were gonna. I thought the add-on set was kind of like a must-have, but I've got it. I'm not too sure if I'll use it or not. But yeah, I'm really digging this set. Anyway, there's a little nick there on the paint there, just on the silver there. So that's a bit of a shame. Other than that, everything seems to be holding up all right. And here's our final size comparison. So here he is alongside Devastator. This Devastator is the one with the add-on kit, so he's probably a little bit wider than your kind of regular version. But I still think he kind of scales pretty well. A Devastator is a tad taller and wider. I mentioned those add-on kits, but he's still a tad taller if you go to the top of his head. If you're taking obviously the top of the shoulders and everything else, he does go up a little bit higher because Devastator is a little bit different to other combines in terms of his shoulders really do kind of stop at his shoulders, where a lot of the other combiners, their kind of shoulders kind of come up here because it's part of the vehicle mode that comes up here. So they often end up a lot higher here. So he does then come up a little bit higher there. But, you know, they kind of scale quite well. This one's probably got a bit of a bigger head. But overall, this one's probably a little bit more chunky. I think they kind of scale quite well. So if you were looking for something to scale better with your kind of Combiner Wars Devastator in terms of like a Bruticus and things like that, because the Combiner Wars Bruticus obviously is a bit smaller, this works quite well. It's a little bit more expensive, but overall I think I would recommend this guy. I need to find a place to get him on display. I also need to review the kind of add-on kit as well. But overall, I think you know, pretty impressed with him. Yeah, he's, you know, I think he's worth picking up. Again, I think it really just depends on what you're looking for in terms of scale and things like that. So I think let that be the deciding factor in terms of what you're going to choose in terms of your Bruticus. But certainly this guy works for me, and I'm pretty pleased with him. And I'll be getting the Defensor and taking a look at that as well. That's it for me for now, guys. This last piece here with the comparison with Devastator, I've just recorded, but all the other bits I've recorded a while ago. So apologies for being so late on getting this out. Just got a lot going on at the moment. Obviously see Unicron in the background there, and I've done videos on him as well. And there is another video coming out on that as well. Thanks again for all your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.